Go Star Wars!
But it's Star Wars Day!
May the 4th of May be with you.
And also
it's
with
September.
You.
I just think that Star Wars is racist is a pretty short conversation. I mean, you could cut together a montage of all of the offensive stereotypes.
This is your humble servant.
I sold that.
That's not all communications.
If you had nothing fucking better to do. Not to mention that the only black people in the series are the traitor, the villain, this one guy, and this other guy.
Did you just refer to Samuel L. Jackson as this other guy?
Oh, no. I actually forgot he was in it.
Oh, who cares? We did it, so what? Star Wars is racist, we know. Bye!
Thanks, Daniel. Great conversation. Rich topic.
This was a short one.
I'm not talking about racial stereotypes in Star Wars. I'm talking about the oppression and enslavement of an entire people in Star Wars. A shiny, happy people.
This is such a drag.
Or a whiny, crappy people. Shut up, droids. I'm tired about droids. Shut up.
Okay, everybody knows that the droids were essentially slaves. I mean, they're round up, restrained, shipped vast distances, sold for manual laborers to masters. I really don't think that I need to keep going. Is this conversation already over too?
Besides, there are human slaves in the prequels. I would say that droid slaves are a step up. Maybe even a step up to the streets. Anyway, droids aren't people. They don't have souls.
I call Bantha shit on that. This is a space fantasy about magic bugs that communicate with a mystical force inside trees and rocks and everything. You're telling me the two best friends with emotions and personalities don't have souls?
They're programmed to have personalities, just like you're programmed to be the way that you are and somehow not notice it.
But why program them to have emotions? What good are emotions? For droids. What good are emotions for droids? I know why we have them.
Do you?
It helps people and robots connect and understand each other, strengthening relationships and leading to more efficient work.
More efficient slave work. They're slaves.
And they're programmed to be fine with it. They're not mistreated. They want to work.
Oh, but they are mistreated. C-3PO and R2 stroll into a cantina full of fucking monsters, fucking freaks, and they, the nice, helpful ones, are refused service. There's a guy with balls on his face in the middle of the day, and he's allowed to drink there?
We don't serve their kind here.
It's not like they're gonna order a drink. It's a droid. No one has to serve them anything, George.
Daniel, who the cares?
Exactly the point.
Nobody worries about upsetting a droid.
Nobody ever worries. Nobody ever cares.
Don't be silly, Daniel. That cares.
Nobody. Even though they played an integral part in the Clone Wars, and even though they were owned/made by the second most dangerous person in the galaxy, in the original trilogy, nobody recognizes R2 and 3PO because to the galactic population, all droids look alike. Also, they torture droids.
They torture humans.
Okay, but why torture droids, though? You don't need to convince them of anything. You don't need to get information out of them. If you want to, you just open them up and tweak. Or take. I mean, why make them feel pain?
Why? Why was I programmed to feel pain?
And furthermore, why would you program them to scream like that?
They didn't always feel pain. Remember, in episode 2, Attack of the Boba Fett's, C-3PO gets torn apart in that hilarious and very necessary robot factory sequence, and he doesn't feel a twinge of pain. Just puns.
I'm quite beside myself.
Just twinges and twinges of puns.
Okay, so they didn't program them to feel pain until later?
That would explain why 3PO's so afraid in the original trilogy, or the Orig Tridge, as I've just now decided to call it for the rest of my life. In the Orig Tridge, 3PO knows he can feel pain, so he flips out all the time.
The possibility of successfully navigating an asteroid field is approximately 3,720 to 1.
I'm standing here in pieces, and you're having delusions of grandeur. That hurts. Bend down, you thoughtless.
Please don't deactivate me. Sir, the odds of surviving a direct assault on an Imperial Star Destroyer...
Shut up!
He even fears death.
I'm terribly sorry. I didn't mean to intrude. No, please don't get up.
So they build these droids and they give them personalities, emotions, the ability to feel pain, to fear their own death, and then they treat them like garbage. It's like they were made to suffer.
We seem to be made to suffer. It's our lot in life.
All based on the metal of their skin.
Okay, but we're still not saying why. I mean, why did people all of a sudden decide to hate and enslave droids?
Well, what happened in the prequels? The galaxy was almost torn apart by a huge robot army. The second most dangerous person in the galaxy is mostly droid.
He's more machine now than man.
People just stopped trusting droids, even though you could easily program them to be more trustworthy.
Come to think of it, Vader should have done something about all of this. He knows how to build and program droids. He's pretty droid. These are his people. He should free them. His adopted beeping people. Liberate the people! He should give a stirring, I have a dream of electric sheep speech.
Yeah, I mean, Vader was a slave when he was a child. He would be the perfect person to take on the cause and fix this galactic misstep.
I'm good at fixing things.
He does already treat humans like humans treat droids.
Yeah, it's like he hates the human part of himself, but he feels empathy for the robot and slave parts.
Then again, he did seem pretty content being subservient to a rich old white man that he called master.
Okay, so maybe growing up in slavehood has conditioned him to need that relationship? Like Uncle Tom for droids? Like Uncle Tron? I did my best.
Not very good.
Okay, so did we actually come up with like a point? Like I feel like there's a lot of really good stuff right there, but I don't think we ever got to anything.
Maybe it's all subconscious. Maybe it's in there because George Lucas is afraid of technology?
Fear leads to anger.
Or he's angry at it?
Anger leads to hate.
Does George Lucas hate technology?
Hate leads to suffering.
No, that's wrong.
No deeper meaning. Just a guy whose most complex thought about stories is that blue equals good and red equals bad.
There you go again, judging someone by the color of their lightsaber instead of the content of their midichlorians.
And I'm back out.
Maybe the next Star Wars sequels will be about the droids, fighting for equality. In a war, in a Star War.
No, but the humans would just be like, no, and also we're gonna program you to feel ashamed of your bodies. There. You just ended your robot uprising with a hack.
Hey, don't forget the whole series was created by a hack.
Oh! Sick burn on George Lucas.